Well, hello and welcome once again to another Heart to Heart talk with me. I am John Kuert, the interim pastor at Alpha Assembly in Clarion, Pennsylvania. And thanks for joining me again for one of these little devotional times that comes from my heart to your heart. And I hope it is a blessing. Well, despite what our culture tells us, worldly success is only temporary and it will never bring about complete satisfaction. The number of people who have come to ruin after experiencing the world's idea of fame and fortune is astonishing. Here's just a few. Multimillionaire George Vanderbilt killed himself by jumping from a hotel window. Lester Hunt, two-time governor of Wyoming and soon to be U.S. Senator, ended his own life. Actress Marilyn Monroe, writer Ernest Hemingway, and athlete Tony Lazzara represent a group of popular people who were dissatisfied and unfulfilled even after they reached fame and fortune, and they took their own lives. Solomon warned those who strive for success without God in Proverbs 10:28 when he said, "The hopes of the wicked come to nothing." According to biblical accounts, God didn't generally use successful and popular people to accomplish his work. I know there may be a few exceptions, like the Apostle Paul. I mean, he was very popular as far as the religious crowd was. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees, and he was probably pretty wealthy and successful in terms of the first century. But according to biblical accounts, God doesn't use successful and popular people. He uses everyday, ordinary people like Joseph, like Joshua, like Nehemiah, Rahab, Jonah, Peter, James, and John. And the list goes on and on and on. And what's wonderful is that God doesn't require us to be big shots to make an impact for him. The fact is, he uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things for his kingdom. Even today, he takes the weak things. This is what the Apostle Paul wrote as he wrote his letter to the church at Corinth. He takes the weak things of this world to confound the wise. It's almost like God enjoys doing that. But if you're an ordinary person and you think God can't use me, you are really wrong. The greatest success you'll ever achieve will come one day when you stand before him in heaven and hear him say, "Well done, enter in." Because he uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. If we will just give ourselves to him and say, "Lord, here I am," like the little boy with the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. But Jesus took that and he fed the multitude. That little boy didn't have very much. And I think most of us are like that. But if we will just give what we have, then the Lord can use us. But so many people think, well, I have to be a success first for God to use me. I have to be wealthy, or I have to be popular, and then God can use me in a greater way. No. Look at me. I was just a little kid in the big city of Philadelphia. Come from I would say probably middle class, maybe lower middle class family. My mom and dad were just hardworking people. But God took me when I gave my life to him. I said, "Here I am, Lord, take me, use me." And as I look back, and I just am amazed how the Lord has taken my little 2 loaves and fish, and he's used me to help me pastor churches, to build a wonderful congregation here in the Sarver area, to go on mission trips all over the world. I look back and I'm just amazed. But you see, God can just take us where we're at and use us. I'm not saying that he can't use somebody that has been successful or that is wealthy. He certainly can. But by and large, for the most part, God uses the simple things of the world, like me. So I would just encourage you to just say, Lord, here I am. Here's my 2 fish and my loaves of bread, and just take me and use me. I want you to use my life for your honor, for your glory. And when we do that, God will take us up on that offer. Well, thanks for joining me today again. And actually, I would love for you to join us some Sunday at Alpha there at 499 Grandview Extension in Clarion, and be a part of the service. I usually try to have a relevant message, and we have good worship and good fellowship, and you'll really enjoy it, I'm sure. So I hope you'll join me one of these Sundays at 10:30, and we would love to have you be a part of it. In the meantime, have a great day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.